What's up, everybody? I'm back for another PG Sports podcast. Our special guest today is Brandon Sherrod, pro basketball player who's playing overseas in Italy this past season, actually for the past 4 seasons. And we're going to have him on to talk about what he's been up to now, what his future holds, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to send it to him right now. Boom. WNBA draft is tonight. You know the vibes. There we go. Go live. Clicked it, and then he requested it, so hopefully it just works. Yo. What's up?
What's good, bro? I'm out here with a beard.
Yeah, you see me too?
I see you. I'm trying to get like you, to be honest.
I'm trying. Yo, look, nothing grows right here, yo. So it's kind of annoying.
Nothing grows on the sides, bro. I don't have any.
All right, we'll trade. Yeah, we'll put each other together.
Facts. You give me a little bit on the sides. I'll give you the goatee joint.
Oh my god.
My god.
Yo, I know you were kind of disappointed with the shirt.
No, this is fire. I wanted to be bigger on the back.
You got the prototype drip.
Oh, all right, that's fine. All right, bet.
No, because what happened was when I made I made it a while ago, that one. So and then when I was just messing around now, and I was like, yo, I never put a huge one on the back. So then that's how I made it like that now. So I didn't even get that. I didn't even get that one yet. I have that one, the same one you got. Oh, you froze? Or did I freeze? Damn, is it me or you? Damn, he's in slow motion right now. This is crazy. Well, hold on. I'm gonna unadd you and then add you in.
All right.
That was funny. You were in slow motion for a minute.
Nah, bro. It's literally I'm at the crib. Obviously, I'm trying to find a place that's comfortable. I can place my arm. It's just different out here. But yeah, the prototype is fire, but I do really want the big globe on the back, because then that's like everyone can see what's going on. It's not like the same as this one. It's the subtle PG Sports. I want the big joint.
Yeah, for sure. I got you in it. No, I make those ones. Well, I mean, I've kind of made them. Everything's weird right now, obviously, as you know. Everything's weird.
It'd be like that. I need a barber. If there's any barbers who are watching this.
Oh my god.
I can use a fade.
I mean, your hair doesn't look bad.
No, I've been out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to regulate. If you're a good barber, the fade should still stay even as the hair grows. So there's still a little blend. There's still a little blend on the side. You just gotta
when's the last time you got the haircut?
When I first got back here, like a month ago, as soon as I got back from Italy, like on the Tuesday, I came and got a haircut. Like I got back on the Sunday.
It's actually funny because my mom's a hairdresser, so and she has like a lot of older clients, and they just keep on calling her up, like, yo, when are you coming back? Like, when are you coming back? Well, they're not saying yo, but yeah, they're saying yeah, when you come. And like, yo, I wanted to record her the other day when they left her a voicemail. It was hilarious because they were like, I was like, where are they? They're like 80 years old, 70 years old. Like, where are they going anyways? Regardless of quarantine or not, where are you going?
Yeah, they don't need to be. Yeah, exactly. They don't need to be out and about. Maybe you know what? Maybe the game doesn't really change. I feel like as you get older, it just takes a different form.
Women especially love their hair.
They just talk. They be talking 3 hours in the chair, just like, man. I've had the best conversation in the barbershop, though. I can't even lie. We talked about politics, sports. I hear conspiracy theories all the time. People come in with like bootleg DVDs when DVDs were a thing. They came in with like food as well. So I was, I could stay in the barbershop for like 5 hours, get a meal in, see a movie, listen to some good music, hear about who's the GOAT in basketball, LeBron or Kobe, or Michael. Excuse me.
There'll be a lot of that going on this weekend after the document comes out.
Well, all right. I'm gonna make a controversial comment, which might rub some people the wrong way, but
we want it. We want all the smoke.
I think LeBron James is the best player of all time.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, it's fair enough to say now. When we were in high school and people were saying that, I was just like, eh.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think back in the early 2000s too, you had more competitors. Like T-Mac was really good. I really liked Tracy McGrady, but he didn't have like the legs to continue on. He had injuries and all types of stuff. And you had Kobe, who had a dominant 2 decades in the 2000s. But for me, bro, LeBron is the best.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite players is Vince Carter, but I feel like he kind of messed up his legacy a little just by playing so long.
See, maybe his numbers. Maybe it's like
his numbers. Yeah. All right, so I actually did some research, and I think he wasn't like well over 20 points, but it was like maybe like almost 21, I think, and now it dropped to like 16 after these like last 5 years.
Yeah, yep, 5 points a game or something like that. I mean, if you don't play, but he's a Hall of Famer. He revolutionized the game. Everyone has their own contribution to the game, bro. And it's like I think there are a lot more mid-tier guys that you find in the league now, like guys who are like right on the cusp of being Hall of Fame guys that had really solid careers. Like maybe they averaged like 19 and made the All-Star game like 3 times. But is that enough to get them in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, All-Star games can't count anymore because it's fan voting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense though. I mean, Taco Fall shouldn't be in the All-Star game, even though you know what I'm saying? Or I'm trying to think of who else.
Well, no, that's why. Well, I mean, that's why they come out. Well, that's why they come out with like all NBA team at the end of the year, because then that's like a real more legit accolade.
Yeah, and that's when those bonuses pop in too.
Yeah.
But even that to me though is kind of hard to.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of sketchy too, because you're relying on bonuses by voters, better writers in the media.
Literally. Yeah. But you got to bet on yourself too, bro. Oh, did you hear it? I saw this Gilbert Arenas podcast, and he was basically talking about how he got like a deal with Adidas because he threw a party, like an exclusive like $2 million party that brought in a bunch of different celebs and got his name from being like a relatively unknown player to celebs vouching for him and thus becoming a household name. He was saying that counts, having that notoriety from celebrities and being in like pictures and going to events with them helps the stardom of a lot of players, even if you're not that great. But not even that great. If you're in between.
I would agree with him on that, but I mean, are you talking about this just happened or back in the day?
No, this was like early 2000s, bro.
Oh, Davey Cuts is in the building. Maybe he'll cut your hair.
Hey, real talk. I need really it's just light fade, taper on the bottom, But yeah, bro. So I don't know. I think I'm trying to think of guys right now who are kind of on that.
I mean, Gilbert Arenas. I mean, he was pretty big, but he would definitely be even bigger now if he had social media during his playing days.
Oh, for sure. And his stories, even like the locker room stories and the stuff that eventually even got him out the league.
Yeah.
Which was like not even really a true story. He didn't swing. At least he said he didn't swing like pointing a gun at anybody. But I think that would have been even crazier. So the legend of Gilbert Arenas, would be dope. But the Youngbloods don't know about some of these players, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, he. I mean, I remember. I'm sure you remember and I think it was high school, probably. Yeah, high school or maybe middle school. Everyone was always rocking his jersey because it was like number 0 or like that special edition like gold one that they had. I remember.
Yeah, that gold Washington jersey was fire.
Yeah.
With the navy blue in the top.
I don't know if you know, because I think it was short lived. He had a show with Mia Khalifa on ESPN. On ESPN, bro. Bro, on
really?
ESPN. Yes, bro. I was so weirded out. I tuned in. I was like, what? I was weirded out.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Mia, she's low key like reinvented herself into like
sports. Yeah.
Sports analyst. She speaks about politics sometimes. She's out here. I respect the hustle.
A change up right there.
I respect the hustle.
Someone said Iverson. Yeah, Iverson is different. Iverson on social media right now in his prime would have been crazy.
Oh, that would have been OD, bro.
He would have been in trouble every day, tweeting about. He would be tweeting back every fan.
Yeah, facts. But he actually pushed the culture too. So like,
yeah.
Like I can't imagine the NBA, like even during that time, everyone was dressing like him. Everyone wanted to wear the cornrows. Everyone wanted to have like an arm sleeve. That was when arm sleeves weren't even a thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think I watched an interview on him recently, and I think he kind of, I guess, made it popular.
Yeah,
the arm sleeve.
You just never know, bro. But
I think he actually said, I don't know if it was an older interview, and I think he said like when he saw Kobe doing it, he was like, "Oh shit!" Like Kobe's doing it too. Like no, because he saw Iverson do it though. I'm saying.
Oh, then he was like, "Oh, I like really pushed the culture."
Yeah.
That's real, bro.
He's Pharaoh said she really does know sports.
Does she really? I haven't watched the show. I just couldn't take
it. I don't know. I couldn't take it serious, but I do appreciate the rebrand and stuff because A-Rod's killing it right now with after like
steroids, bro. That makes more sense though.
A-Rod's the go after sports, like to take your career to the next, like even though he was a GOAT in baseball, but now he's like killing it as an analyst and like doing everything.
Yeah, he even had that like PED. Like possible, like almost major scandal.
No, it was. I mean, he did it. I mean, he apologized and he admits it. That's why he was going crazy with the Astros this year when they weren't admitting it and changing the story like every day.
That situation is different though, bro.
Yeah.
Sign stealing. I mean, sign stealing is a thing in the MLB, but to be so blatant and to not admit that you did it.
Obviously with social media now, they were just looking dumb because one day they'd say something and the next day they say something else.
Facts.
It's just like real time now, obviously.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy, bro. I mean,
you watching Ozark? I see it in the background.
Oh, I got Ozark popping, bro. It's in the back. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to get into it. I never watched it. So I'm on like episode 4 now. I just finished up episode 3 before I got on the phone with you. So it's been, it's cool. I'm not
season 3 or season 1?
Yeah, I'm on season 1. Literally season 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
Yeah, thank you, please. I don't need any spoilers. All the people. My sister's already watched like the whole series. We've been watching a lot of stuff. Tiger King is low key one of the most bizarre, but one of the most amazing shows I've seen in a while. It's just it's like doesn't make any sense.
I get why everyone went crazy about it, but I just don't. At the same time, I don't. And then I'm thinking, is it because we're in quarantine that it's so big?
Yo, I you know what I think? I think even if we weren't in quarantine, it would still be huge. It's just, I think with shows like that, you get to see how diverse America is. Like I wouldn't imagine myself ever going to Wynwood, Oklahoma, to go to like a big cats zoo, where I could hold a baby tiger. Like I've never done that. But I also think that for the people who are watching this show, it just shows you how people are living elsewhere. America's huge, bro. America's huge.
Yeah, I originally thought the show was about like us as regular people owning like tigers in their houses.
That's something that would be interesting. That's an experience. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's why when I heard about it, I was like, oh, I'll watch that. That'd be pretty interesting, owning an exotic animal in your regular house.
No, but if you have the chance to get a baby tiger, also that's hilarious.
Shit show, but it's hard to stop. Pretty much, that's how I felt. I pretty much started it. I didn't want to watch it, and then I was like, I gotta finish it though.
Yeah, it's for the culture. Once it becomes popular too, it becomes a part of
how many Joe Exotics are going to be this Halloween?
Oh my gosh. How many Carol Baskins are there going to be this Halloween? Carol Baskin.
Oh my god.
You know when I knew the show was real, my mom watched it with us and she watched the whole thing. And she's not really like a Netflix series, especially when there's profanity or anything like that, but she was locked in, and I was like, this is real. This is really real. So
yeah, I forgot the other show that I remember whenever your parents start talking about it, then you know it's real.
Facts. Oh, shout out my man Uganda. My man. He's in the building. He was in the building. He probably left.
So what else have you been doing during the quarantine?
Bro, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I just enrolled in a class at Harvard. They have like these free classes. Yeah, it's like this. No, it's like free classes. It's not like
No, but I'm saying whoa because you went to Yale.
Yeah, Yale's also offering. It's like I think I can audit some classes online at Yale. But I saw this tweet and I like went immediately to the link, and it has like I think it's like 40 classes or so, and I enrolled in 3. I plan on doing 3. One is on persuasive writing and public speaking. Another one's on political philosophy and morality. And another one is on contract law, which I think would be interesting to study. But I think in the future too, it's like, I love my agent, I love my agency, but if there was ever a time where we were to part ways for some odd reason, some crazy situation, I would love to understand like what's really going on. And I know of guys who have literally represented themselves and taken like the commission check that agents get, like for finding a guy and sending them to another team. So that's like the new endeavor. And then I baked bread the other day, like fresh bread, like from scratch. That was like a 24-hour. Let me tell you, bro.
Oh yeah, I did see it though. Actually, I forgot. I did see that.
It's fire too. It's fire.
Yeah, it looked good.
It's fire. So shout out my friend Leah who gave me some sourdough starter, and then I just got some dough, put the starter in, did my thing. Next thing you know, ended up with bread, fresh, fire.
What's up, Derek? Did you? Wait, so you're taking these classes just for fun?
Yeah, they're for fun. I mean, if you take it, I think there's probably an exam at the end of it, and if you pass or if you complete it, you can get a certificate that costs like, I don't know, like I think it's 125 for some classes are 99. And I don't think universities would actually, I don't know, like accept credit, but it could be something for someone somewhere in the world where they can put it on their resume. And it might help. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get the certificate, but I just wanted to like pass it.
Wait, tell me the classes again.
One is on contract law. One is on political philosophy and morality. Oh my guy, what's good? I do remember. My man's a bouncer in Singapore. I mean, that was a good
bouncer in Singapore.
Yeah, I can tell you about that. What's up?
What's up,
Renee?
Renee?
I want to say that Renee Montgomery is literally, she's incredible. And I remember as a kid watching her, or she's not really that much older than me, I guess, but when I was younger, watching her at UConn, and obviously in Connecticut.
She's like 5 years older than us. She's old.
She what?
I said she's old. She's like 5 years older than us.
No, okay. She's not. Renee, you're young. Keep it a bean. But I do remember watching those UConn games. And being like really locked in, because that's like that's really our only professional but amateur sports team. So yeah.
Hi, Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, and well, the CT Sun too, but they didn't have a team.
Yeah.
Until I don't even know 2000 something 2000.
I think it was 3 actually. For some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I think it's 2003.
All right. Well, you might be right. So. Anyways, I'm a big fan. A lot of good memories, and my family's a big fan of UConn women's basketball as well. So
did you? I forgot. I think we probably talked about this, but did you have a chance to go to UConn?
I didn't. I was probably the only school in Connecticut I didn't get an offer from coming out of high school. Yeah, it didn't come until 2010. Okay, yeah. So, ciao Pino. Spero di vederti presto. Un abbraccio. Ciao, bro. Ciao, my man OG Ricky. This guy on here.
What this guy? What Victory and beer and
Victory,
food?
bro. Victory is a.
Said ciao, bro. Said hi, bro.
It's a bar / pub in Rosetto. So like,
I don't know what were you doing after basketball after these games, man?
After the game, we were at Victory. Victory was popping, bro. That's literally the best place to go. The name, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they hooked us up with drinks. We had wings. I was like the only place you can get wings in all of Roseto, and chicken wings weren't even a thing, but they were fire. Trying to think of what else. Good beer selection. They had like this good Amaro too. It's like a post dinner drink.
We got the bouncer in here. We got the bar.
We were in the streets for sure.
We're like we're in the quarantine club right now.
Yo, low key, I do have some. I have some Amaro in the back. It's like a nice little post dinner drink, but you can drink it normally, or you put it in a cocktail. It's really good. So yeah, Victory. Grazie a tutti. Grazie per tutto. E ci vediamo presto. So yeah, that's my spot. So my man Pino, he would hold it down. He's the owner of the place, and he'd come to the games too. So yeah, it was lit. It was always lit. Always.
Tell me that the people that haven't heard, like, how have you expanded your taste buds over in Italy?
Man, so for one, there's a lot of Italian American food that's not Italian. So like chicken parmesan is not an
Breaking
Italian
news.
dish. Breaking news for everyone who didn't know. Chicken parmesan is not an Italian dish. They don't put chicken in their pasta. So when I was over there, my first day that I got there, they were like, "What do you want for dinner?" And I was like, "I have like chicken, broccoli, like throw some oil over the top of it, whatever." And they were like, "Chicken?" They were like, chicken? Like this with the hand. Pollo in your pasta? I was like, "Yo." I was like, "What's wrong with that?" They were like, "We never put chicken in our pasta." So I learned that the hard way. A lot of the ingredients that we use, like cooking with butter, is not really a thing in Italy. They usually cook with olive oil, so it's a totally different taste. It's a lot healthier, and then the wine too. Like American wine does not compare to like what's going on in Italy. Maybe in California, but like the stuff out here in Connecticut, we have Goivea and Wallingford. There's some other vineyards that I've been to out this way, but it's not the same. It's not really the same quality. Too many sulfites. So I'll be a little bit. Wine, which is essentially like a guarantee that it's been tasted and approved to have this title. So there's DOC, which is literally just like the grapes are from the vineyard that's placed on the bottle. And then DOCG is that, like, yes, it's the same thing as DOC, but now it's gone through a taste test by the government. And it's also gone through like a process of filtration and aging that now makes it elite. So when I go to get bottles of wine, I'm looking for DOCG if possible.
So did you just learn that on your own, or people taught you?
Yeah, so there were a couple of people. I think it started in Roseto because there was a guy who owned a restaurant. We went to his house to eat, and he cooked us like a really great meal and brought amazing wine, and then kind of broke down what the differences were. Then I went up towards Venice, and we had a day with my teammate Nicola last year, and then we like went up to a bunch of vineyards, and they explained the difference between DOC and DOCG. And also, if you don't know, Prosecco is all made in like the northern region of Italy, all in Veneto. So any Prosecco that you get is usually made there, and then Champagne, that's all in France.
All right.
Yeah, so it's different.
Why not?
It's
Why not? You're gonna be a sommelier.
I'm becoming a wino, but it's also, I think it's better. There aren't a ton of health benefits. Oh, shout out my man Nick. I was just talking about you, bro. Nicola Akele, the truth. We had a good time in Venice, but yeah. So I would say like the quality of wine, DOCG, is very important. The health benefits for drinking wine as opposed to me drinking like, I don't know, maybe Tito's, even though Tito's is vegan, so shout out to Tito's. Or even drinking Henny, which is not good. Nick knows about the Henny nights out in Rome, but we don't need to do that. So it's better for me. It's healthier. It goes well. I like pairing it with foods. So yeah.
So you want to be you want to get like you want to be a sommelier?
I actually looked that up the other day, how to become one. It's a process though. It's a process.
Yeah, there's like it's like 3 or 4 levels, right?
Yeah. No more Henny. Yeah, Nick, no more Henny. And then yeah, once it's a process, and then once you get to like a master
Yeah.
sommelier, you can literally, you have to sit down and you're basically doing a blind taste test where they put 4 or 5 glasses in front of you, and as you're drinking, you have to tell the people who are there on a piece of paper where the wine is from, what type of wine it is, what type of grapes are being used, what are the nodes, all that stuff. So I'm not there yet by any means, but I do know the difference between good quality wine and poor quality vino. So
yeah, actually listening to that on Josh Hart's podcast. He had a wine expert on there.
Yeah.
And she was going for her test. I still don't know if she passed or not, because I remember I think it was recorded in December. No, I just haven't looked it up. It was recorded in December, and then she said she was getting it back in February. And then you should check out the show, the movie on the movie on Netflix is Uncorked.
Corked. Yeah, that's right. That's the next one I should binge watch.
Uncorked, yeah.
I got time.
It was all right, but it was a movie, not a show. But it was all right. It could have been better though. It was a good plot, but overall it was like could have been better.
What could have been better about it? Just like the explanation of what was really going on, or like what?
They kind of just like skipped parts and then put in other things to make it like more dramatical for no reason.
Oh, okay. Well, you hate to see it.
No, you gotta check it out. Then you can tell me.
All right, bet. I'll peep it. Like I said, I've got time, but I've been trying to be a little bit more productive in some sort of way. Shout out to my man Ian Miller. He just came out with an amazing EP. I should play. Honestly, you know what you should do, Paul? You should make a playlist of not just like, you should make a PG Sports playlist of our favorite songs.
All right. I just did that for the my Average Savage podcast. I think I might have asked you. You might have been the start of it, or one of the first episodes where I asked people what their favorite song was right now, and I made a Spotify playlist of everyone's favorite song at the time. Okay.
We gotta keep the vibes. We gotta keep the vibes going. About it. What have you been listening to?
Pop Smoke.
I see you, but you've been on your TikTok game though too, low key.
Yeah, I've been on. Yeah, I was like, well, I've been telling everyone to get on, so I had to get on it myself, right?
Yo, I still die when I watch the pizza, the pizza TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, that one went viral.
Barstool reposted it.
Yeah, that's love.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I was getting mad DMs all of a sudden now.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Start sliding. I see you.
Pretty much. Yeah. Tell us for the people that don't know about your singing career.
Man, what career? No. So I've been singing since I guess I was young in church with my family. We're really tight, so we've been doing a lot of a cappella at the house, or playing instruments at the ministry. And then as time went on, I got to high school, started an a cappella group. I'm not gonna sing a song, Ian. And then after going through high school, I would join another a cappella group in prep school called the Mayeros. Then I got to college, and I had to leave singing alone for a little bit of time. And then I ended up joining the Whiffin' Poofs. The Whiffin' Poofs after my junior year with Musician Miller, at Musician Miller. Out here, go follow my man's Ian. And we did a 26 country tour singing only a cappella with 14 guys. We did like 100 something shows. And it was really, really fun. So once I finished that up, I came back to school, finished up college, ended up going to Italy. Then I recorded another CD where we did it for like a benefit, and we ended up donating 10,000 euro, 5,000 to a school in Italy that had been affected by an earthquake that took place while I was there. And another 5,000 I gave to my high school, and they bought a new PA system. And I think they used the funds for some other things as well. So yeah, it was cool. But I think it's always been a big part of my life. I'm working on some music now, hoping to eventually get an EP out, but a lot of that's been placed on pause because of the coronavirus. And I was going to do a lot of that work in Italy, and unfortunately, I don't know when I'll be back there. So for the time being, I'm kind of just chilling. Just chilling.
Yeah, I don't know if it was your first year or your second year. Was that when you put out the?
That was my first year, not in Rosetto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just it was kind of like a random thing. It was the earthquake happened, and then the guy who was the piano player on the CD, he came down to the hotel. We met. We jammed out on a song called "You've Got a Friend" by Carole King, and then it seemed like we had known each other for like years. The way that it all came together, and then after that happened, we were like, "Yeah, we should do a CD," and I was like, "Haha, like for sure, let me know." and then next thing we know, it went down. And we recorded it.
Yeah,
so.
that's what you and your sisters got to do. You got to get on TikTok, and then
man,
you can even fake it that you guys act like you don't know that each other could sing good.
Yeah, that would be a solid one. And the thing is like I love them, but they be acting Hollywood with me sometimes. So I gotta try to corral them if I can. That's what it really is. The best singer in the house is my youngest sister, China. She's incredible. So. But I have to pay her if I want to get her to make an appearance on my
oh my
she's expensive. She's expensive these days. So I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, bro. Ian knows he's the truth.
What other what have you been doing to like stay in shape?
So I'm working out with a friend of mine, Christina Gaskin. She is a professional basketball player.
She was just on here before, and I saw her last name at first, and I thought it said Baskin. See, like you got Tiger King in my head. You got Tiger King in my head.
Gosh. So, ciao tutti. So Christina, she's a pro basketball player in England, and I think one day she did a class with one of her friends. They were on IG Live doing a bunch of workouts. And then after that day, I was like, oh, that was a really good workout. And then she started doing these workouts every single day. And I've been basically following her. You do need to change your name.
Yeah.
And I've been following her literally every day for the last 3 weeks. So I think at like 10:45 Eastern time, we've been just getting after it. Some HIIT classes, high intensity interval training. Yep, that's what it stands for. Also, some core. So I've been staying in shape. I haven't really lost form. So I'm really grateful for her.
Where have you been going? Just outside?
Yeah, to work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside. I have like a little porch area that my parents cleaned off. So the last few days I've been out there kind of getting it in. It's still cold out here though, bro. So I'll either do it out there or I'll do it inside the house. And then if I have to, I'll go running, even though I really hate running. For real. It's like my least favorite thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people around here being getting kicked out of like fields and stuff.
Yeah, I mean the park. I went to the park the other day walking with my mom, and like there are barriers set up, and people just park their cars outside the barriers and like went in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the beaches are closed, but I think they might be now too.
Bro, I would imagine. Oh, grandissimo Giga, tu sei vero grande. That's my teammate from this past season. So, yeah.
Ron hates you too.
Tough, bro. What was that?
Musician Miller said, "Running hates you too."
No. Say numero uno Giga. It's true though. I think the hardest thing for an athlete is like not being able to go to the gym. I mean, that's literally what I have to do to stay in some sort of form. But fortunately, there are people like Christina who've made dope workouts, so I'm grateful for that, for sure. So hopefully, I mean,
yeah. What about before? Oh no, go.
No.
I was gonna say, like, what's the longest time that you haven't like maybe like shot a basketball? Like,
I think it's like right now.
Damn.
I think it's now. Yeah.
So you think you're gonna be like? You think you're gonna be like? You're not gonna know for a minute. You're gonna be rusty.
Man, it's like riding a bike. It's always like that when you take time off of basketball. So I don't know, bro. I think it's gonna be fine after a few days. I'm more worried about my legs. Like I'm still working out and like running and doing a lot of activity, but basketball shape is different than, you know what I mean, than just workout shape. So you can do all the workouts you want. You can go running. You could run 5 miles a day, but if you get on that court, the cutting you have to do, you know, just being able to move with the basketball, without the basketball, change of direction, pace, all that kind of stuff. It just makes things a lot tougher. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back at it soon. There are outdoor courts that are open, but I don't really like being outside in the cold with I don't even know if I have a basketball that would work. I mean, it would work out there, but I need somebody to come rebound for me. I gotta get China again, and then I have to spend like another $150 just to get a rebound for like 30 minutes. So it is what it is.
What about, do you know anyone that got like stuck out there that couldn't fly back home?
Nah, bro. So I mean, as an American citizen, you're always able to get back. I think so there were guys that like chose voluntarily to stay. I had this guy Bobby Jones. He's an old head, and he stayed there just so he could like finish up a documentary because he wanted to actually film what was taking place in Italy and like what the mood was like and how the people were reacting and whether it was desolate or if there were people out and about like wearing masks. Because when I came back to America, I got off the plane and no one was wearing a mask or gloves.
Yeah.
I'm over here masked up, gloved up, waiting in line. It's hot. I'm looking, you know, behind me. No one's keeping the distance. No one has gloves on. No one has a mask on. And I think we're kind of suffering because of it. We'll see what happens on May 1st when Trump opens parts of the country back up again. We'll see. So.
Well, May 1st. Well, I mean, here, I think it's May 20th. I think it's May 20th here, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, New York City closed down schools for the rest of the year.
Didn't they do that in Connecticut too? No.
Well, they said May 20th. I mean, they said May 20th, but they'll probably do it too.
Yeah. We shall see. Oh.
Yeah. No, it's a wrap for school, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think the world in general kind of needs to just chill out for a little bit. Everyone's trying to get back, and I understand that. But we want to have our summer and fall. We don't want to have, you know, people go back out and then we're stuck inside until 2021.
Yeah. I mean, I think this will make it so maybe like once a year or once, I don't know, whatever dates they pick, maybe like that we'll have to do quarantine. Like after everything goes back to normal.
Sucks. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
What do you miss most about quarantine? About being out of, or like, what do you miss most now that we're in quarantine?
I guess going hang out with my friends, can't do that. So.
Yeah, that's real. I was so cute.
I
feel the same way though, bro. I feel the same way.
Even just like, bro, like I feel weird just going out. Even if I get delivery, I touch the door handle and my hand is like red, and I'm like, yo, is it just like me? I was like, do my hands always get red because of touching the door handle? Or is it just like is it in my head?
Bro, you should be over it. So my mom, like she will read the news or watch a newscast, and she always comes back with like new knowledge about what's happening with the coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
So she saw one segment on like the cardboard boxes, and so now anything, I tell you, anything from anywhere, it can even be something that was inside the house already. She's wiping it down. And I'm like,
well, I mean, that's why I don't know if you've been seeing the dude on Barstool. He's getting all these packages and he's opening them up. You seen that or not?
What are you doing with them?
I think you're frozen, Leah. Oh, so no, people are sending them like free gifts.
I'm back. Am I back?
All right, what did you hear last? Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. Are you on your Wi-Fi or are you on? What are you on?
And I just went back to Wi-Fi because I thought I froze.
All right, there you go. I think.
Okay. Are you there?
Oh yeah, so I was saying that So all these people are sending him gifts, and he's opening all these boxes. And then I was thinking the same thing because I was like, yeah, this is dangerous. Like he's opening like 1 million boxes. Like it wasn't just like one.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Because Lord knows. Oh, Lord knows no one wants to get into a situation in which like everyone's out and about, but no one wants to like talk to anybody or interact. That's gonna ruin the social. I don't know. Like social gatherings are gonna be done for, I think, for a while. I don't see anyone going out really on dates. Like you got to be really careful now. It's like a totally different vibe.
Yeah, I even saw a TikTok last night, and the guy he went out. I forgot what fast food restaurant it was, and he had $50,000. There's 5 people working. He gave them each $10,000 each.
Whoa!
And then he who knows if it was real or not, but and then he one of them gave him like knuckles, and one of them and they had gloves on, and he didn't have gloves on, and they gave him dap, and I'm like, no,
No, that's not it. That's not it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, because he gave him $10,000, so he was all pumped, and I'm like, yo, he probably, I don't know, who the hell knows.
You hate to see that. Yeah, bro. The trust issues are really real. And if they weren't already real, or if someone's like, I don't know, if like their hygiene is, if anyone that you know, if like their hygiene was in question before, now those people can't even be talked. For real. It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, it's pretty weird. I guess you never really think. I mean, I never really think about that stuff, like giving people dap or anything. And now I guess I will. Now I'm probably not talking to anybody.
No, it's the thing with like the fans for sure. Like, after every game, if we win or lose, we have to walk around if we're at home and dap up the fans. And some of the fans be grabbing your face. Some of the fans be trying to grab your arm.
You can't be touching my face.
You gotta just run around like where you're far enough so you can't touch anybody and just hit a big wave, just like thank you everyone, and I'm out.
Well, I kind of vaguely remember something maybe like when we were like little, and I remember like giving each other handshakes, and then they started doing the fists instead because of germs. So, and then I remember they started doing the elbows too.
Yeah, the elbows. Honestly, the elbow is more safe, low key.
Yeah. I mean, at this point.
Honestly. Even world leaders, I think, too, like for
that politics. Shit is weird, when they were doing that.
Yeah.
They were like, don't touch anyone. And then they were shaking each other's hands. I was like, yo, what are you doing? Unbelievable.
I'm dead, bro. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. Lord knows it just could be a long time before we get back to normal. But we also had the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Like influenza, like that was in 1918. So if you think about it, we got back to normal. We've had a period of time before this time where it was free love and people were just all over each other. So, I think we'll get back to normal. It's just gonna take a few years. Unless there's a vaccine, I think people will feel a lot more comfortable interacting as well. But that won't happen for like another year.
Yeah. So say everything goes back to semi-normal, you could play basketball next year. Like where would you want to play? And where would you want to play?
That's a good question. I mean, I love Italy. Don't get me wrong, I love Italy, and it's always gonna be home. I wouldn't mind playing somewhere like really obscure, like Dubai. Like the African Basketball League was supposed to launch this year in the NBA. I don't know what the requirements are for that, but I would think playing in Africa would be pretty interesting. Australia would be dope.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You saw Melo bought the team he played for, right?
Yeah, they were going through financial trouble, and I think that's a great investment. if things get back to normal.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know how much he bought them for, but it could be it could be a big time investment. Yeah, even having access to even access to the real estate that we think about it, like the gym. I don't know what facilities they had, but at least like, you know, you get the franchising, the marketing, the licensing. So that's lit.
Oh, what about did you see this kid that was a number one recruit and he just signed the G League contract for $500,000?
What was that? Jalen Green? And who's the other kid? Todd.
Yeah. I forgot the other person's name.
No,
how do you feel about that?
I think it's a big time move.
Well, first of all, I think they probably could have signed him for less. And second of all, it's gonna change. Well, I'm saying, like, all right, if you were like 18 years old and you're like, yo, you get $100K or you go to college for 1 year for free. Like, yo, I'm taking $100K. Like,
yeah, but you gotta think about it, bro. It's like the dudes who were going into the league straight from high school, Darius Miles,
they were making millions.
Yeah, they're making millions right out, and it's like there shouldn't be anything holding. Considering the fact that like these kids are the ones that are pushing the culture, bringing them fan base, bringing the school money, and if they don't get to see, oh, am I gone again? Oh, we're back. Did you hear anything I said?
Yeah, sort of. But yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really hear half the stuff you said, but I think that this is the start of ending NCAA basketball.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, for a lot of kids, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, and I think basketball will be the easiest one to get rid of college basketball, if that makes sense. Well, not get rid of it, but lessen it.
There are kids that are ready to go by like their junior year, which is wild to think about.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
but I'm saying, like, even like a lesser player, like almost like what LeVar was doing with the JBL. Like, even if there was like a lesser player and they offered him like $50K to go to the G League, like, he's probably going to go to the G League.
Yeah, but you got to think too, bro. Some of these schools, like, you can't tell me Zion went to Duke for free.
Oh yeah,
bro. Or any of these guys are going to school for free. These big time recruits.
Speaking of Zion going for free, there's a case going on because he signed with, I think, like an agent before he signed with CAA, and he didn't know. He claims he didn't know it was a 5-year deal, I guess. And and this, first of all, I don't get who his people were around, because obviously he was like a huge deal.
Yeah.
So I don't get how he was able to sign that anyways. And I think he might have been. Never mind. He was 18 or 19, so I guess you could do whatever you want at that point, legally wise. So, now that agent is still suing him, and I think he just won or something. They have to pay him, obviously.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, but that was like, whoever's in his camp was just like.
Yeah, you don't sign something that you don't know the detail. Like, if you don't know the details.
Yeah.
There's so many hidden clauses and like.
But I'm saying, like, especially being that, like, you're the number one player.
That big time.
Like, I don't that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, bro.
And especially the age we're in now with all the technology. Like, obviously, it happened back in the day because, like, I'm sure a lot of stuff that we have no idea happened.
Yeah, that's facts. But also, you gotta think, like, these dudes are kids. Like, they're young.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I even seen interviews and stuff, and you could just tell, like, obviously he's like mature, but you could tell like he's still like a kid at heart.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, everyone's a kid at heart, but like he was like a kid. Like, he's just like I don't know what it was. It was just like them just clowning. He was just like, "Nah, man, like, stop playing with me."
For sure. Nah, for sure. Yeah, bro. It's like, oh, what's up, Anna? But yeah, it's like, you got to think, like, these kids, some of these kids are really poised. Like LeBron, when he was young, he was so poised as like a 17, 18-year-old, which is insane. If you look at his interviews, he's talking about his expectation of the future. They're like, he's a chosen one. They're asking him questions about how he sees himself in five to 10 years. And he's like, well, I just focus on, doing my own thing and paving my own path. And like, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Like, have you seen any of the Kobe ones from high school when they were like doing interviews on him, or like him just walking around? I'm like, first of all, he looks exactly the same. He was like grown. And second of all, I was like, I was not thinking like that at 17 or 18 years old. That's for sure.
Nah, but I think it depends on preparation. I mean, depends on who your camp is too, Yeah. So I will say black doesn't crack, so that's why Kobe looked the same as he did.
But he looked like just like a grown man. Like I was.
Yeah. It's different, bro.
That's why, I don't know if you saw that. Have you seen like the Aaron Hernandez documentary?
He looked like a kid.
No, bro. He looked like.
All right. Well, his last year of high school, he didn't look like that. He looked like a pro.
Yeah. I was like, all right. It's almost like you could tell. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, you do. I mean, for a lot of kids, you do know. There are agents who are like looking at kids from the 7th, 8th grade, and guys who sit on domains for years. So they think a kid's gonna turn out to be like a superstar.
What about I know you work camps and stuff. Have you been at any camps and been like, oh, like that kid's gonna be good?
There was a camp I did this past summer, and there was this big kid. His name is Blessing. I think he plays at I want to say Taft, bro. I want to say Taft, but he's from Africa, and he was so raw, like so raw. But he has a lot of like gifts, like physical gifts that could translate into him being a pro if he does the the right things. It's also hard at that age to really tell, because a kid could peak in like 2 years and then he's done, or a kid doesn't want to work hard, or a kid thinks he's too good. And I think social media really hurts that, because everyone has a mixtape and everyone wants to be on like Overtime or like, do this, and like it's hard because a lot of kids aren't very good and they have mixtapes of them making like a layup. And I saw a highlight tape. I swear to God, Paul, I saw a highlight tape of a kid, and I think his most of the highlight was him just like in layup lines and warming up before the game. And I think he had a jump shot that he banked off the glass, and it wasn't from like the corner, like the wing. And then he had like a reverse layup, and that was the entire game, and like a couple steals. And I was like,
that's the other thing when I see them, and then they're all they're all dunks. I'm like, okay, like what does that mean?
It's hard, bro. It's hard. But also, it's the way that the game is being taught. It's the coaches too, because a lot of guys who are coaching, they don't really care about whether a kid is gonna go somewhere. It's more like, okay, am I gonna be able to win and get things done? Am I gonna teach a kid the fundamentals, or am I just here thinking that I know the game because I maybe played, or I was doing something else, or I was maybe like a good player back in the day? So it's tough. I think expectations need to be made. I think you got to challenge kids. I think you have to set goals for seasons and games, and then also incentivize them to not just think about basketball as the only thing, or like whatever sport they're playing, and trying to be a little bit more well-rounded, because there's a lot of opportunity from when you start, I don't know, in like the early ages until you get to become a pro. So I feel like I'm still learning because I started so late. But for a lot of kids, they get burnt out by the time they're, in high school or college.
Yeah. I mean, you played on like an all-star team before or something, or like a showcase game or something?
When I was in high school, you mean?
Yeah, just in general, like an all-star game or something.
Yeah, I played like my senior year. My junior and senior year, there were games that I played in. I think my junior year, I played in something at like the Sheehan Center. It was like the top players, and I could only play in like 1 or 2 leagues, or 2 all-star games, for the entire year, because that was the NCAA rule. And then my last year, I played in the JCC Schoolgirl Classic, which is just like a historic thing in Bridgeport.
Yeah. So my question is, I was listening to a podcast about I forgot whose it was, but it was about a baseball all-star game, and they were talking about they were like, he went to go scout somebody there, and he was like, the game just like sucked because like nobody knew, the players didn't know each other, and they were just all playing for themselves, and it was just like, he was like, yo, I literally drove over to the high school that was nearby and watched like a playoff game, and he was like, it was way more dope, and there was only like one person to look at, but like he was like, it was more incredible. So what? Yeah, what's that like? What's that like? Then you kind of have to be selfish in like those kind of games.
Yeah, like to an extent, bro. I mean, if you're good, you're good, and your game is going to show. I think the same idea about points are the only thing that matter. It's such a lie. So for me, I knew that I was a really good rebounder. I played hard every possession I defended, and those were the things, along with my ability to score the ball, that were going to get me to the next level. But I also knew that if I got the opportunity, I was going to just play my game and not get upset with my teammates. So for the guys who could only really score, and if they didn't score, they weren't contributing anything to the game. You know, they were stuck with the options that they were, that they were offered. So in those games, I mean, basketball is different too, because if a guy is playing for himself, that guy can also get iced out by the other 4 guys on the court. And in baseball, it's kind of, you're kind of just waiting to get your at bat. Yeah, which is like, it's so slow. But yeah, bro. So for me, with that, it was always something that was pretty chill, pretty easy.
I think another good thing out of this Jordan documentary will be highlighting Dennis Rodman, and he just got boards, didn't care, like, and then maybe kids will start realizing, like you just said, like, sometimes it doesn't matter about the points.
Bro, his numbers he had like a 4-year stretch I saw on Twitter. It was like he averaged 18 boards, then another year it was like 16, another one was like 17, and I think he had another one with like 18.9 or something like that. And that was per game. So
that was average.
Yeah, it was average. You know what I mean? So there were some 20 plus. I don't know his record for like all time or rebounds in the game, but yeah. You just gotta know. You gotta know where your bread is buttered, and dudes who specialize, those are the ones who stay in the league. If you're a DM3 guy, those guys make a ton of money. A ton of players in the league just defend, and they should sit in the corner and wait for the superstar to pass it to them and hit a 3.
How many points do you think he averaged?
Dennis Rodman
in his career, yeah.
I'd say maybe 9.
7.3. Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. But the other numbers were insane, and he was Defensive Player of the Year, like, I don't know how many times. So I think that's that's what it really is. So I don't know. But kids don't want to hear that these days, bro. And parents are also part of the problem too. They hype up their kids too much, and they're not good. You gotta keep it a bean with your kid.
Damn, I was gonna quiz you on your own stats, but it doesn't show it here. Because I know I knew there was a page. Maybe it's a different website, but I know there's a page and it follows like all the overseas and it gave you like your career high overseas and all that. So I would have you guess it, like what year.
Oh, that's probably. I mean, there are a bunch of sites. There's like Real GM. I don't even know if that might be one.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah. All right. Or I could do this quick. What would you average your first year in Italy? Your like points.
13.
Or actually, this is inaccurate. It only says 8 games. Never mind.
Okay, great. I'll go to say. I was like,
it said 11.6, but that was only 13 games. I mean, that was only 8 games.
Oh, maybe that was in our playoffs. No, we played more games in the playoffs. We went to the second round. Oh no, that makes sense actually. Maybe. I don't know. That was probably the playoffs though.
Crazy. Yeah. Oh, here's I think a more legit one. This says 27 games in this your second season, 14.5 points per game.
Oh, I had a good second year in Scafati. It didn't end very nicely, but it was a good season overall.
Yeah. What you got last year? You got named like all
last year I was like center of the year for my side of the league on the East. And then my second year, I was center of the year for the whole league. And then this past year, I didn't get any like individual awards. But also, I think a lot of that too is we had a team that was very, I guess, spread out. Like even if you look at the point spread, We had I think I averaged 12 and a half. We had a guy who averaged 12. We had another guy who averaged 15. We had another guy who averaged
hold on.
And we're back.
Yeah. So what were you saying? You're talking about being the center of the year and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, the individual awards.
You're just being the MVP.
No. That would be the goal. I was saying this year we had a really nice spread of we had a good spread of players scoring the basketball, so we ended up making life I guess easier to an extent because no one really has to worry about numbers.
Yeah.
But it also was tough to get the individual statistics up. So it's like the cost of like sacrifices working with the team, but like also missing out on some individual things. And so,
do people recognize you around Italy now since you played there? What, 4 seasons?
When I was in Naples, yeah. I mean, in the cities that you play in, you get recognition for sure. And I think that's been like really dope. And a lot of fans have showed love, like whether that's. Go ahead. What's the craziest thing? Like a fan just like pulled up on you, like. I went to, I don't know which year. Well, this was last year. So last year I was in Roseto, and we were living in Rome, so we went back and forth. I remember my boy Adam Smith came down to record a music video for his EP, and I wanted to go out later that night because we had won the game. So we ended up going to this club. And so, we walked in like normal, no cover at the door, but like we walked in normally. We didn't have anything scheduled, nothing set up. We walk in and the security guard comes over. He's like, "Yo, come with me." I'm like, what? I mean, I didn't do anything. So like, what's up? He's like, "No, the owner wants to speak to you." So the owner comes over. He's like, "Sherrod, what's up? Like, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, congrats on the game today, bro. Like, do you need anything?" He's like, "I want to offer you guys a table up near the DJ. You guys can sit there. I'll come over with a bottle of Prosecco. What do you think?" I was like, "For sure." So we ended up going in there, and we stayed until probably like 4:30. Got there at 12 and had like bottle service the whole night. So that was love, for sure.
Yeah, that's dope.
Or just like getting a free meal from a restaurant, or just fans like gifting bottles of wine. I went to a vineyard and I went to like 2 of them, and at both places they gave me like 2 bottles of wine to go home with, like just as a gift, just because I ended up stopping through. So it's love, bro. It's really nice. I can't imagine what that would be like as an NBA player here in America, and like all the perks that come along with I guess like being famous. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's probably I don't even know. Like what you just said, that probably I don't know, because like you said, if they're in their home city, then it probably, I don't know, it might happen, it might not. But then I feel like if they might be in a random place and then they recognize them, then it'll happen.
Yeah, for sure. It really depends on where you get the most love. Yeah. Honestly. But the price of that is that you don't have a lot of privacy either. So like being in some of the smaller cities too. Like there was one time I went out to dinner with a girl, and the next thing I knew, it was like city news. It was like in the paper, like, oh, Sherrod was out with like some lady.
Oh no! Yeah, tabloids.
Yeah, like not Italy like TMZ. Just like someone heard that you were out there, like, or my teammates would come back to the locker room, like, who were you out with last night? I was like, I didn't talk to anybody in here about what was going on. But now it's too much. So that's too much for me. But for the most part, it's pretty chill.
That's not cool.
I can't complain, dog.
All right, well, I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming on, of course. We'll be talking. Hopefully we could go out soon. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm gonna come see what's up to you if I go come to the crib, bro. You don't gotta leave the bag outside the house.
All right, bro.
I'll
talk to you.
Yes, sir.